Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today we're taking a look at it's another episode of updating the precons, and we're going to be taking a look at, well, the green black back for more. So this one's your typical way of getting stuff in the yard and bringing them back. It's not quite as explosive as historic. They still have Stitcher Supplier. They have a lot of the good ways to bring back all the cheap stuff. But let's see what we have in standard. So what are they asking us to do? Well, basically, there's two copies of Back for More. So this is pretty much their main way of bringing back stuff. And it comes with the fight effects. So if we say bring back Polukranos or Tree Shaker, well, this is probably the only big one here. Boneyard Lurker. If we bring back one of these guys, we're probably going to be able to kill something. Other than that, it's pretty much a combination of ramp and putting cards in the graveyard. So you got copies of Martriton, Skulk Prophet, Order of Midnight to get stuff back to hand. Boneyard Lurker likewise does the same thing. Although a bit of non-bow in the sense that Boneyard Lurker does not neatly attach to everything. It won't attach to Order of Midnight or Skull Prophet or Acolyte of Affliction, but it will attach nicely to everything else. You got Twin Blade Assassins as a way to benefit from cards, drawing cards when you get our stuff dying, but actually it doesn't have to be our stuff dying. It's just as long as something dies on our turn, then we get to draw a card. Other than that, we got a copy of Murderous Rider, a few copies of Deadweight, some copies of Drag Up to the Underworld. I like this one at first, but we're probably gonna have to test out which ones actually stick, especially now that the meta seems to have more evolved. As always, we're going to give the deck a shot in regular standard 2021 play. Then we're gonna give it a shot as is. Then we're going to make some changes, and we're gonna see how those changes pan out. Mostly, we're going to be adding some. We're going to be fixing the mana base. We're going to be fixing stuff. We're going to be seeing what cards we can add to the deck. So we're going to try to take advantage. Okay, Lurus. So this is some sort of sacrifice. Unfortunately, we got nothing to do. Like, we can't even do the Demonic Embrace part. So that's an auto mulligan. This is a lot better. Martriton, Deathloom Talid. I have to decide if I want to keep the Deathloom Talid or the Drag to the Underworld. We can cast this for 3 mana mostly, so not sure which would I prefer to create. I could actually just bin the Deadweight, but we'll bin the Deathloom Talid. Let's see if that's correct or not. So Jungle Hollow, turn 1. Yeah, the concern is our opponent has a lot of chief stuff. We have at least one Deadweight to get that out of the way. So Martriton, we actually need to look for better payoffs than what we have here. So I'm already considering cards like the cycling cards from Ikoria, particularly Titanoth Rex and the Death Touch one. Opponent's looking at our graveyard as claim the Firstborn. We take a hit. They'll just sacrifice it. Okay. So we got some more back for more fodder. We just have nothing to do with it. So we need to be on the lookout for. Yeah, we also kind of want more mana. This is usually the problem with these cards. Unless we have a way to naturally get these in the yard, it's gonna take us forever to cast these. Mana ramp is probably something we can consider. Also unfortunate that. Okay, for us to nuke the Archfiend's Vessel, we have to take out we have to take it out at instant speed. So I'm actually gonna just pass the turn. Wait for our opponent to sacrifice it, then try to reanimate it somehow, even if it's Lurus. Then we can just drag it in response. That's something we can do. So we're gonna just have to accept the fact we're gonna be taking a few hits for a while. Just probably the most expensive way to deal with an Archfiend's Vessel. Also doesn't help if our opponent has Call of the Death Dwellers, since they can just redo this all over again. Rampant of Death's Vigil. There's our opponent's sacrifice outlet. Hit another Martriton. This one's gonna be kind of iffy. Also, you kind of need to hit lands. What I can do is, because this is... Oh, this sacrifices itself. No, it's too sketchy. We'll pass. Let's see if our opponent gets greedy and goes for it, but normally, if the situation's like this, I wouldn't bother doing anything. So yeah, it looks like we have a setup where most of our cards are not really responsive at all. Like, Tree Shaker Chimera... Okay, opponent probably drops this. No. Probably tries to sacrifice this. Okay, so we're gonna wait for our opponent to sacrifice this, most likely to Lampad. Then drop this one and try to reanimate with it in response. Then so we can kill this in response. The next turn we can dead weight it. So we got a plan. It's just a painful... It's very painful right now. It means I literally can't do anything here. I can't even cast this one. We really need more removal. Okay, we asked for more. There we go. We asked for more removal. We got it. Let's see if our opponent goes greedy now. If not, it's gonna be very awkward. I'm going to have to actually drag something else to the underworld. Okay, there we go. So let's see if our opponent's not gonna sack this next one. So opponent's probably gonna go for Dolores. There you go. Let's see if he recasts the Archfiend's Vessel. Yes. Now this is a trigger. If he can't exile it, he doesn't get the token. So if our opponent just even if our opponent village writes this, or even just uses the Lampad in response, we at least prevent the 5/5 from landing. I will still want to hit one more. Okay, there's the village rights. So not the complete wash for our opponent, but we do have. But we can answer this. And we hit one more mana, so we're kind of good on that one. Now we just have to dodge Call of the Death Dweller. Opponent can sack it in response. So that's the annoying thing. I'm tempted to just cast something now, offer the trade. But I'm concerned our opponent might have Death Dweller, so I'm gonna hold this up a bit. We're knocking on wood basically that we draw one more mana, because we can do this at instant speed. Okay, opponent hits most of their mana. It's actually, well, they did draw 4 cards. Okay, there's the Serrated Scorpion. Their plan is to beat us down, I suppose. We'll take the hit for now. Opponent's not swinging with the... I don't remember there's any flash creatures at this rate. I guess I could drag in response. Let's force our opponent to activate this or do something about it. Yeah, I like the drag to the underworld, but it needs a lot more support. Okay, this is not good. I was hoping to hit one more land. We'll play the Skull Prophet. And since we can't really play anything else, we'll play the Martriton. Let's hope we... Well, we hit one land, but it would have been 2 turns away, so that's fine. So let's see if our opponent does have the Call of the... Nope, just more Serrated Scorpions. So I can't block Arsonist. I can block Scorpion. Actually, Martriton is fine with backdoor more, even if it's just a fight effect, though I would prefer something a little bit sturdier. Okay. We got an Acolyte of Affliction, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna save it. We'll force our opponent to have a response first, then we can just cast it back for more. Shame we can't get back this big one, but we'll most likely end up getting back... Ugh, none of these are great options. Opponent's actually gonna draw cards, so they might be stranded on lands. Yeah, we're literally waiting for them to just do something. Yeah, I also would like to have more reanimation effects other than just the 2 back 4 mores. Yeah, and we need to give bigger targets. I'm considering adding a bunch of the creatures from my Coria with cycling, so things like Greater Sandworm are an option. Okay. Opponent knows what I'm gonna fight, so there we at least blank this one. Opponent could sacrifice this just to ping this one. Oh, it has another Archfiend's Vessel. So unfortunately, that's all our effects, and yeah, claim the Firstborn. I'm actually bitter of that card now. It pretty much means that everything you have has to be mid-range, and the opponent gets his token too. Well, to be fair, we did not really have anything to do in the early game, and this Tree Shaker Chimera is not worth the price of entry, so we are going to call the game. At least we were able to prevent the 5/5 Demon from coming out. We just need to have better options. So right now on the docket, we're looking for more ways to fill the graveyard, so I'm thinking Timurit Calls the Dead. Ways to answer our opponent's graveyard, so Timurit himself. So yeah, we're going to slant this more towards black. We might even try to sneak in the Devotion team, since we do have some Devotion cards to go with it. We'll do probably one more game. I want to get these done a bit faster, mostly because I have another one to do. After this, I'm going to redo the white-black life gain deck again. And it's... actually, that one was very miserable last time. Like, no change I did made it worth it. In fact, it was hard to say if the deck principle was worth it then. It's actually probably... the life gain deck's probably more worth it now because there are a bunch of decks that... cards that only care if you gain life the first time in the turn. So it will just trigger automatically. So we got that one, Pat. Okay, so turn 2 Triton, turn 3 Visionary, Jungle Hollow backup. Yeah, it's really the top ends that are a bit disappointing. So I'm gonna get those cycling cards. Basically, if we can get them to hit the graveyard by itself, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so we lost our Order of Midnight. Actually, yeah, the cards that bring back to hand, those are not exciting. In fact, they're kind of a waste of time at this rate. So we're looking for a bit of ramp. So now here's the interesting thing. Polywog Symbiote. I could just put the dead weight, but it's probably not... Actually, that's another thing. The dead weight's probably not enough to kill things. I probably want Heartless Act instead. So we'll go Llanowar Visionary, draw a card. Okay, so we're able to hit this. We should be close to hitting this one. So I'll offer the trade. Super unlikely our opponent... Yeah, our opponent's not going to take this though. Curious what the next mana is. Most likely black, since blue-black mutate seems to be quite... Oh wait, this is very different. Well, if our opponent is missing drops... So I'm gonna attack with this one first. See if our opponent makes the trade. If our opponent doesn't make the trade, I'm gonna just nuke the Ghostly Pilferer right then and there. Let's get it out of the way. Next turn, we should offer the trade again and go for Twin Blade Assassins. Opponent finally hits their colored mana source, just a bit late. I actually want the Mar Triton to go because that's going to be our removal spell combo with back 4 more. So at least we hit the mana. We're probably gonna... So we'll go Twin Blade Assassins. Let's give our opponent something to consider taking out. Brazen Borrower. Okay, that's actually fine because this was Cloudkin Seer. Draws a card. Okay. Opponent might end up trading now, which is gonna be quite awkward. Opponent makes a trade. Then I could order for midnight, buy it back, but let's wait. Actually, no, let's not wait. Let's order for midnight to order of midnight. So we still have that as an out. Yeah, Deathbloom Talent. It looks interesting, but we're not exactly the sacrifice deck. This should be in the black. This was in the black-red deck, if I'm not mistaken. But this really doesn't do much in the green-black deck. Opponent's considering what they could mutate on this. I'm suspecting, yep, Pouncing Shore Shark. I think our opponent might be playing the... Wait, actually, based on the cards here... Okay, we take a hit. That's expected. Falmar Knight, that's Death Touch. So I'm gonna offer the trade. Now I can play Twin Blade Assassins again, because that will draw me a card again, and this time I'll actually just play the regular order. I don't need to buy any of these guys back quite yet. I'm kind of waiting for our opponent to stack more cards here, which is kind of inevitable. And I don't want our opponent to go wide here because there's an Archipelago, perfect. So we'll take a big hit. We'll take a big hit, but next turn we just back for more, snipe the Archipelago. We will draw. Okay, hit this. Ooh, I wanted that Acolyte. And we can't get back for more with this one, but I suppose we can get back... Return a permanent card. I wish there's a permanent that brought stuff back. I think it's in historic only though. Let's bring back Mar Triton. And draw even more cards. So at least we got the Twin Blade Assassins to pay off. I will note though that the reason we're doing quite well in this setup is because our opponent got stuck in mana for quite a while. Well, if this is the stock deck, I know there's only one Brazen Borrower, so this one's probably gonna need the Heartless Act. There you go. So I need to do the mana math. Yeah, we're just gonna unload everything. Nightmare Shepherd is a way to get cards back, but the only one with an actual good ETB is Llanowar, Llanowar Elf and Mar Triton. Everything else not so much. So let's see, if our opponent dumps, say, one is probably not gonna attack. He is signaling that he has a flash. So probably another Pouncing Shore Shark. So knowing that, yep, there's the other Pouncing Shore Shark. Bounces the Nightmare Shepherd, which is actually fine. Snipes an Order of Midnight, which is fine too. So we replay Nightmare Shepherd. We replay Martriton. Yeah. Then we'll save this one for when we know we have a way to slip through. If I remember correctly, there should be only like 2 Shore Sharks here, so any mutate now has to be now during our opponent's turn. Demonic Embrace. Oh, there's the... Oh wait, this is not the... Okay, so opponent has another flyer. Okay, got the Murderous Rider at least. Yep, opponent concedes. Yeah, opponent concedes at that point. We definitely have to up removal, especially if we're... I believe we're still going to encounter quite a bit of mutate decks. Even with Zendikar Rising, there are... The non-human condition for mutate actually fits well with Zendikar because not all the adventurers are human. In fact, they're quite a... Like, it's not just the elves either. It's like, we got core, merfolk, vampires... Plenty of stuff to... Plenty of humanoids to mutate on that are not human. So... Yeah, I guess we're going to edit the deck now. It's, Normally I go for one more, but I figured we've learned quite enough, so we're going to get the clone deck. And we're going to cut the cards that are... First, we need actual good payoffs. We never hit Polukranos, but that's fine. If we're going to keep a lot of these humans, like... Okay, let's consider the ones we're actually going to keep. Order of Midnight's probably not a keep. Spinnerets are no. Deadweight, we need something more... We need something better. Arasta's probably a no also. We want to slant the deck towards black. Acolyte of Affliction, mills, but let's find a better way to mill stuff. Boneyard Lurker, let's leave it there for now. So, first things first, click. Set this to standard 2021. This way, so when I do the lands, I don't end up... I can actually get the previous ones. Now, in this case, it's actually right for me to make more copies. And I only spend 2 rares instead of the oh so many that I've been spending before. So we'll cut 2 of these. And as always, 4 copies of Fabled Passage. Actually made so... Then do a land suggestion. There we go. So now we got that out of the way. Let's look for cards that return battlefield. That's not Cauldron Familiar. Silver Smoke Ghoul returns itself. Call of the Death Dweller, but we're looking to return big stuff. Kogla's actually interesting if we mix humans and non-humans because we can use this as a way to replay humans. Unbreakable Bond is the cheaper one, but it's sorcery speed. Cauldron of Eternity. This is interesting. We probably want to just play more copies of Back for More. Maybe just even a 3rd copy should be fine. The rest are ultimatums. We may consider those. Cauldron's Gift. Yeah, if I had to choose between Cauldron's Gift and Unbreakable Bond, I'd choose the Unbreakable Bond. Cauldron of Eternity, not sure if that's going to play very well. Okay, but we'll do... Feasting Troll King returns itself, but that's slanting way towards green. Now we need to look for the big creatures that cycle. So we're looking for cycling. So we got Void Beckoner. We probably want... I suppose we could use this as pseudo removal, so we could add 1 copy of that. I would much rather have the Titanout Rex, so that's two copies. So we have cards that can put themselves back, put themselves into the graveyard. We need other ways to put cards in the graveyard that generate creatures. So Timur Calls the Dead is in. We need some more removal, so a few more Murderous Riders. Actually, maybe not too many Murderous Riders. The Demonic Embrace feels... Okay, the Deathloom Talid doesn't feel like it's worth it. We're gonna max out the Martriton. Skull Prophet is a bit... Like, what are the cards that we want to get back with the fight effect? Aside from just cards that are very big, Polukranos will keep. I did say we want Timur chosen for that as a way to... One, it's a way to get the drag to the underworld. Two, it's more of a meta call. I'm expecting a lot of escape and some sort of reanimation. Boneyard Lurker can attach itself to everything but the Skull Prophets. Problem with Skull Prophet is that it takes quite a bit to mill this with this guy. In fact, I might opt for a card that does it by itself. But even just at least 2 copies. So quite a bit of mill, quite a bit of removal. I did say we want more removal, so Heartless Axe come in. And our creature base, we kind of want a few more creatures. Twin Blade Assassins, because we could just get more of these guys. Actually, is the GRUB standard? I remember, but I think it's historic. No, Carrion GRUB's in standard, so it mills, it copies the power. Actually, this is fine. It won't copy Polukranos, so I might bin the Boneyard Lurkers, but we can add a few Carrion GRUBs. It fits well with the Demonic Embrace too, though we might want more removal. Let's swap out the Nightmare Shepherd because that's weird. Let's add some Extinction Events as a way to clear the board. We need also ways to kind of ramp quickly, so I am willing to add Cultivate. We have Llanowar Visionary. Actually, let's test the deck as is for now. So let's craft all. But what are the cards we're getting back? Essentially, Carrion GRUB because it will copy the Greatest Power. We do need to bin one of these or this guy. It doesn't copy well with this. I'd like to put the Gigantosaurus if I could. Nessian Boar's weird one. Auspicious Starks is something we can sneak in. Like I said, actually we cut out all the humans at this point, so we can actually sneak this one in. It's kind of pseudo ramp. So actually I'm gonna cut one Heartless Act because we're actually using the drag to the underworld. So, and Auspicious Starks is has a reasonable rate. It's 6. So let's give this one a try. Let's see if this pans out. Hold on. We're actually short 1 mythic. Because another thing we can do, normally I would just say put Questing Beast, get it over with. But since we're leaning towards black, let's add one Liliana, Waker of the Dead. She also counts as removal that way. So I'll still keep one Heartless Act. We'll max these out. Probably not too many Timur, Calls the Dead. Yeah, let's cut the rares a bit. Okay, so let's give this one a try. So we have a bit of a controlling build. Yeah, we'll see how this pans out. This might pan out better. It might have us raring to get back for more. In fact, at least the thing we know now is we don't need to keep getting back for more. We just need something to get back. I feel like we need more things to get back, I'll add Woe Strider in because that one can get itself back with a bonus. In fact, Woe Strider might not be bad. It's a really good 3-drop. It might replace the Llanowar. Might replace Llanowar Druid? No, Llanowar Visionary, sorry. Yeah, might replace that one. So Martriton, missing green mana, which might be an issue, but at least we are leading with Martriton, so we'll lead with that first. I also have to note that the cards we have with cycling do have a colored requirement, so we have to be careful with that. Okay, I think we're dragging something back to the underworld. Well, there's our green mana. And the CARRION GRUB is kind of a giveaway of what the deck wants to do. So opponent probably tries to shock this soon. Yeah, I think we just bit ourselves. We should not have kept this hand. Okay, there's a shock. So let's see if we hit again. We really need to. So there's another shock. Okay, so that gets those out of the way. Okay, that's actually a good hit. We hit Visionaries that we're never gonna be able to cast. Teferi's Tutelage. Oh wow. So we're way too slow for this. And there's our land. There's our Polukranos. There's our Timurit. Yeah, now we're hitting lands. Seriously. At least we know if we hit the back four more, we might get something big. We can also, but at this rate, yeah, we're too slow for this one. Oh wow, we just keep hitting lands. We could actually consider adding Trashing Brontodon if this kind of deck becomes a problem. Okay, we hit the Jungle Hollow. So we take out their Frantic Inventory. So that reduces the number of cards they draw. Now if our opponent happens to have more, that's a problem. Another CARRION GRUB. We really need to hit more lands now. Very Ageless Insight. No, actually at this rate. Yeah, we whiffed on lands. We needed those lands. So this is me making the classic mistake of if your play involves you need to have this land, it's not the play. Also, the opponent having double shock early was kind of annoying. We could have had some sort of race at least until our opponent hit Storm's Wrath. Though I will note that if you're having trouble with the Teferi deck, play white. Play white, play Rune Halo, just and name it that way. Okay, so this is much better. Although we have nothing to mutate onto, and the double back for more is a problem. At least we have our colors more or less. We actually would prefer more black than green. So we're looking for something we can actually play. The Demonic Embrace, yeah, feels like a win more. Okay, we're gonna play the Fabled Passage. This better not be a mute. Okay, it's a mutate deck. Actually, I was about to say this better not be a mill deck. Now we need to actually hit removal, which might be a problem. Yeah, we need to hit removal. Okay, there's the... You know what? I'm gonna cycle this now. Okay, we're hitting Auspicious Starix. Though if we can back for more the Titanout Rex, that'd be nice. We do have to consider also that this mutate deck has a secondary plan, which is usually Ugin. So if we can't hit remove, okay, we hit Timurit Calls the Dead. So we can buy ourselves a little bit of time. Distinction. So let's nuke the Llanowar Visionary. Next turn, I could just play the Auspicious Starix straight. No, basically the Auspicious Starix is just a way to cheat stuff in. Now, we're only slightly fortunate that our opponent is off to the side, though our opponent can mutate the Pouncing Shore Shark. Okay, so I'm gonna actually play the Mar Triton. One, it's a zombie, so it benefits off this. Two, it... Okay, I did need one land though. But basically, it's a way to load up on this one since we need to scry. Here's the ram true. Okay, that was expected. So we just... If we can hit one more land, it's back for more. Opponent hits the Auspicious Starix. So let's see what our opponent hits. If it's Ugin, it's over. Nope, it's a land. Okay, it's a bunch more. That's so we're okay. Yeah, still miffed that we did not hit that removal. I'll take the hit because we are about to gain a little bit life. Sea Dasher Octopus. That's fine, I guess. So it will really so I'm really hoping this... Oh wow, those are big hits. Thank goodness they're off to the side. Let's see. No, it's a Land War Visionary. So I need a temple, so I'm gonna act. So we're gonna play Land War Visionary. Probably should have been the Twin Blade Assassin. We were not gonna benefit off that. Yeah, let's bin it. So we're gonna have to use these guys to hold back the immediate onslaught. Thankfully, this does not have. Oh, it did have Ugin. Okay, it doesn't matter. If your opponent has Ugin's over, we die to damage. Yeah, as I said, green-blue one, if you can't interrupt their initial plan, they usually just land an Ugin near the end. So, yeah, maybe we need more removal, considering we're pretty slow. I did consider another card that could buy us time, although we'll cut the Demonic Embrace. Let's see, what was the mythic that I added? Liliana, Waker of the Dead. Yeah, I'll keep her for now. I was considering adding Rankle. That's a decent mythic to add also. Could also add Ira First of Locthwain, but we are having mana issues, so I'm gonna go easy on that one. Unfortunate that we don't have anything like a Maelstrom Pulse that hits permanent. There's a Mythos of Detroit. We will need to splash white. I'm gonna avoid doing that for now, though it's something to consider. We can land more towards green if we think that we're gonna encounter more of that. Cheval Bane of Monsters. Well, that's a way to draw cards if we just need to have more destruction in that sense. So I'm actually going to add another Heartless Sack. Basically, we need quite a bit of early removal. So I'm going to add more of that. In terms of removal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Twin Blade Assassins doesn't seem like it's panning out. I'm just going to double on the Heartless Sacks. However, it does mean that we are kind of short on the top end. We're kind of relying on just a few cards. I might actually just cut one back for more and add... Add another what's it called? That's Apply Styles. And also change this one out to just regular. We'll keep everything else. So we'll see if this one pans out more or not so. In the end, the real problem is always going to be Ugin. As much as I'd like to say just run up X number of Murderous Rider, probably might have to do it, but it might still be a problem near the end. If our opponent went X -3 on that one, no, the Auspicious Starix is too big. We needed to take We actually needed to take that out very soon. I think that one dug our opponent way too many cards deep. Our opponent probably had the Ugin in hand anyway, but still. Okay, so we're gonna keep this one. Oh, yikes. Okay. Either land or action. Okay, we hit land. That's good news. Bad news is our opponent's gonna get the drop on us. Opponent's taking their time, so they might be a counter spell deck of sorts. So what are the cards I want to land? I'm actually concerned about the lack of things our opponent is landing. I'm gonna just land a CARRION GRUB. Let's put some cards in the yard. If our opponent has a counter spell for this, fine. Bring it on. We need to start burning counter spells of the sort. Okay, we hit an auspicious Taric, so here, 4 mana, 6/5. I'll take that. Opponent landing a lot of mana, but okay, let's see what our opponent actually does. Next turn we go Fabled Passage. We need. Okay. More black mana. We're not exactly hurting for green mana at this point. We'll swing first. Let's see what our opponent wants to do. Taking. I'm pretty sure this is some sort of flash deck or a bunch of instants. So I'm gonna actually hold on this for now. Our opponent not doing anything is really concerning. Like, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 7 mana. What are your cards? Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is 7. And our opponent chose blue here also, which means our opponent's about to drop something big that's... something big in blue. Sublime Epiphany. Return target non-land. Target player draws a card. Sure. Discard down. We will need a few more cards to get Polukranos back. That shouldn't be a problem. Opponent goes Improbable Alliance. 1, 2, 3. We hit 6 mana. So this looks like card draw into Improbable Alliance. So we need to be careful with our extinction event. Yeah, I'm guessing the card draw comes in right about now. But I do have questions. Okay, let's say our opponent drew this really late. Okay, there's the Experimental Overload, buying back Sublime Epiphany. Has 4 mana left. Yeah, just do that one for now. I'm gonna recast the CARRION GRUB. Though it does probably mean I should have. Yeah, there's an Essence Scatter. That's fine. So our opponent probably has a handful of counters and not much else. They were forced to use the Sublime Epiphany. Okay, cycling. Create a token. That's a 0. 1, 2, 3. Like, I can cast this as is. Yeah, problem is everything we have is expensive, so I'm gonna pass. Okay. Even if we take a little hit, it's okay. I just need to consider, because our opponent's literally threw out a neutralize, so we know our opponent has counters. Has a ton of counters. So we'll take that hit first. Opt, draw a card. I'm gonna see what our opponent... Okay, opponent's still tapping mana. Okay, another Heraldic Banner. Okay, I'm gonna cast this now. Force our opponent to... I'm gonna cast this now, force our opponent to use up a counter spell. Because literally, that would be pretty much most of their mana. They might have a rewind, which is a problem, but at least we got an additional counter spell out of the way. Opponent could have a bounce effect to prevent us from nuking this. Okay, it's now an 11-5. Opponent better have a response for this. Well, could have a burn spell. Brazen Borrower, okay. So... we'll let that resolve. In fact, I will probably discard this again. Brazen Borrower. I could back for more, take out the token. Yeah, let's do that. So we're still taking quite a hit here, bit of a hit here. At least this has trample, so our opponent cannot just chump block behind this, unlike, let's say, the CARRION GRUB. I'm assuming our opponent has an answer to this. Might even be forced to cast Sublime Epiphany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have enough mana for that and a counter spell. So I'll swing. Our opponent will cast this unless their opponent has something else. It'll allow me to hold up mana for Drag or Murderous Rider. I might go for Murderous Rider, Mar Triton. I think opponent's gonna just cast this now. It is 6 mana. Okay, opponent's holding. What's this? Return. Create a copy of target. So what I can do is I can Murderous Rider the Brazen Borrower before you can copy it. Unfortunately, we can't. It's not like we can flash Extinction Event. That's a problem. I'm only considering this. I can't consider the other cards in hand. That's an issue. I'm more likely to expect another Brazen Borrower though. Opponent's digging the mat. Sublime Epiphany. Opponent has 3 mana. Blue Tree the spell catch. Okay. So it's gonna copy this, but our opponent will draw 2 cards. That can't be helped. So at least we cleared the board. And we still have Titan Rex in hand. So at least we whiffed out most of the effects. Opponent just draws 2 cards, which is fine. And makes a token. The tokens are also a problem as well. But if our opponent's literally just sitting behind counters, yeah, we took too long. We got too comfortable that our opponent was doing nothing. It turns out our opponent was literally setting a board where we have to do something. Frantic inventory, draws cards. So I'm gonna go for the extinction event. Yeah, us whipping on lands is a problem. We will have Heartless Act as an option, but yeah, there's a neutralize. Yeah, and the heraldic banners are kind of killing. Let's see if our opponent has a way to draw. I could also have just milled the Mire Triton, but if our opponent, well, if our opponent played something to draw cards, we were dead anyway. Yeah, you know what? I'll just cast this now. If our opponent has to counter, we concede. How many counters was that? Like, okay. Actually, not that many counters. The Neutralize was discarded. It was an Essence Scatter, a Sublime Epiphany, and a Neutralize. And another Sublime Epiphany. Okay, that's a good game. We can concede there. Yeah, so that one is literally just counterspell that deck. Now, it's a problem for us because we need to be more aggressive in order to punish it. I'm going to try something a little bit different. We're gonna cut most of the black cards, except the Carrion Grub. We're gonna lean more towards green. Unfortunately, it means we're gonna have to get Scavenging Ooze, which is fine. It also just happens to be rare, so that's why I've been kind of trying to avoid it. Otherwise, the Heartless Acts are fine. We don't exactly have a wipe. We could do Agonizing Remorse as another way to buy time. I'm gonna cut the drags because there's starting to be a drag. Let's see. Yeah, I'm limiting this one just a bit. We could do a sort of ramp plan with, but what? Turn 2 Mire Triton, turn 3. Oh yeah, I did say we need. I guess we will have to add. We need more cards that bring themselves back. We can't just rely on the single Polukranos to bring itself back. So more rares. Ghost Rider. The Visionaries. I guess they're fine because they ramp. It's pretty much the best ramp card there that is there. That's the problem. Yeah, we haven't quite won with this one yet. Yeah, we just have to be, but we have to be more careful about our mana issues. And the fact that we're not quite aggressive. So, yeah, this is better. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Yeah, we need to lower this top curve a bit. Maybe, even if we could cycle, maybe it's too much. So, I want to back 4 more, but I want to hit 4 mana first. So this is a Lurrus deck, which is already another way of saying I'm very annoyed. We also can't cycle this, actually. So maybe I just cut these and go straight for Titan Rex. There's no... Yeah, because there's... Why would you need an 8/8 Death Touch if there's an 11/11 Tramp? Oh, cycling! Okay, so the race is on. Although we have a slight advantage, we can just... we can just start eating our opponent's cards. So I'm gonna attack first. Let's see if our opponent trades. So Timur's gonna have to do a bunch, some extra. It's gonna have to go on extra duty. At least it's this and not the Flourishing Fox. Like, good luck trying to answer a Flourishing Fox with Heartless Act. We probably want to put Eliminate in the sideboard. So there's a Dranet Healer main cast. Cycling. So opponent's gonna try to. We really want to hit the. So we'll take a hit first. That's fine. Spend the end of turn mana, shrinking their board. Shrinking their graveyard rather. Okay, so we did hit the 4. I can just drop Polukranos and call it right there. And I'm gonna offer the Timuret again for trade. Basically, it's only because I know I have another Timuret that I'm not willing to offer. I'm also willing to let the Polukranos kind of die in this sense. Opponent cycles, gains a bit of life. They're missing the Flourishing Fox. They can keep cycling more just to hit. They probably want to save one. Yeah, that only nets them the life, but that's fine. Polukranos could just probably sit back. It's unfortunate that... Oh! Going all out. I guess they're trying to overwhelm Timuret. I'm okay with this one shrinking. But we do need to need to start hitting mana though. So that's a problem. Like, I'm willing to kill this now. But I want to see if I hit mana. If I don't hit mana, at least I gain. Okay, I did hit mana. Just comes in play tap. But that's fine. So I'm gonna hold back. So so we have 6 mana up on. We have 6 mana on board, which means I'm probably gonna spend Polukranos pinging these two. Thankfully, it's only 4 in the. I'm gonna ping these right now. In fact, what I can do is I can just ping and eat. Or I could have just Extinction Event right then and there. No, I'm gonna do the ping and eat. Basically, I want our opponent to kind of load this up a bit. And we'll start eating these guys. I can offer this for a trade, but no, I'm gonna keep holding on to that. I really want to get Polukranos in the graveyard first before I drop Extinction Event, so that's a bit of an awkward part. Especially when I know that name... I'm hoping our opponent obliges, though. Like, at least I know I can still keep eating that. I can still keep eating this yard a bit. Gonna be a bit slightly awkward. If I can hit one more mana, I'd Polukranos something else first. Then Extinction Event, wipe the board. If our opponent attacks, I'll also oblige that way. Opponent will probably be curious as to why I'm willing to let the Polukranos die immediately, but opponent might also just cast a Zenith Flare right now, hitting the Polukranos, getting it out of the way, in which case, yeah, sure. It does leave us open to future Zenith Flares, but opponent might not have much of a choice in time. Okay, that kind of... Yeah, I still want to hit one more mana though. So our opponent's going to try to go for us. Okay, we missed the mana. 1, 2, 3. Take that out. And drop another land war visionary. Try to hit the land. Okay, we hit the land. So the plan now is extinction event. Yeah, the lures is also an issue. But now I'm kind of free to go in extinction. Okay, we also know that our opponent cycled first, got this one off the cycle. Oh, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a bit critical. We're at 10. So oh yikes, we also don't have enough black mana. So let's go extinction event, naming even. It'll force our opponent to cycle down. But we're still, and I might have to just play a Martriton just to get back up. But I won't be able, okay, even. Yeah, I want to play this, but we're not going to remove anything, so I will play the Martriton first. Hit the Woe Strider. Probably cycle the Titanot Rex also. Target creature control. Let's put here. Death Touch Trample's always been good. So we can back for more. So at least we're at 12, so opponent will have to... Opponent does have the mana to cycle 3 cards, then go for a Zenith Flare. So we'll see if they hit. Otherwise, we need to start eating with Timuret, though we literally got only one shot to eat. Okay, I think they have it. That's exactly 12. We unfortunately took way too... Oh, they're still cycling. Okay, so they whiffed right now. The next one's Okay, they're bringing back Lurrus. So... Yeah, mana's an issue. However, so is my life total, so I'm going to... So I'm gonna take the cards that are killing me or are awfully cheap. Puts him back down to 11. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 mana up, all green though. So that doesn't do anything. Might as well attack. So next turn, probably Murderous Rider. Okay, there's the Lurrus. Count's actually at 10. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep looking at the Zenith Flare in the graveyard. Opponent probably recast the Valiant Rescuer, so that gives me a sort of out. I will... yeah, there's a Valiant Rescuer. So that buys us a little more time. Cycling. I should offer the Martriton as a trade. Okay, Fabled Passage is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll be stuck at 5. Okay, first, I have to kill this. Okay, so at least that problem's gone. So it's 11, so let's keep going for their creatures. So it's a 14 and that's a 9. Still probably dead. But it also means I have to hold back. I can't swing. Eight mana. Yeah, opponent cycles that one. They're really digging for it. Though, yeah, it's still X is equal to 10. X is equal to 11. X is equal to 12. Our opponent might consider sniping the Timuret just to make the next one lethal for sure. It does allow us to use back for more to get back Timuret though. Okay, they're going for it. So he dodged that bullet. We need to start getting more black mana. That's a given. So X is equal to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we will actually get back Timuret. Snipe a token. Yeah, I never expected to get Timuret back. Opponent is really flooding now. But now we have to start eating this. I have to do this before combat. Okay. So X is equal to 13. Okay, so we're still... cancel. Okay, that's it for all their creatures, so we're not gonna gain... I guess we could gain a little bit of life, so we're gonna go this way. Okay, so if I buy this back... So we actually have 3 mana left. Okay, so next. No attacks. Pass the turn. My concerns are our opponent played two Zenith Flares. I'm concerned about the third and the fourth one. But they're just literally cycling their way out of this. Okay, I think they're out. These are probably lands. Yeah, auto pass. He knows I'm just gonna start eating the graveyard, finishing this off. Yeah, Timuret is a good call, even if it's just to weather cycling. So there we go. It's a victory. I'll take it. I'll probably do one more match. That's just to see if we can do if we can get something more normal. But that said, back for more, you'd have no idea what you're buying back. So we're thinking we want to buy back the big stuff or even just the CARRION GRUB, but turns out we had good stuff to buy back. Okay, so Fabled Passage, Swamp. Yeah, basically the change I'm gonna make is I'm going to nuke out the Void Beckoner. So at least we have the double black for Murderous Rider. We now just need to hit some green. At least we can cycle this. Yeah, the fact that this has cheap cycling is probably what should put this on top. I could just put Greater Sandworm if I want to have colorless cycling. Okay, we need to hit double black, so I have to play the black first. I'm not sure what our opponent has. Teferi's tutelage. Okay, we need to cycle this anyway. So we're actually helping our opponent? Sort of. At least we know the Carrion Grubs will... Yeah, that's fine. At least we know the Carrion Grubs can dodge Storm's Wrath, so we have that. It's a bit of a race though, since we're kind of... Oh, okay, now we're really racing. So that's 4 cards. We're down to 40. We'll put another 4 down. Bounce is what's gonna kill us. But if we can connect 1 or 2 hits, we should be fine. Dumps a didn't say please. We just... Okay, dump a few more lands. Seize the Carrion Grub, so... Yeah, that jig is up. Okay, dumps the back 1 more. Yeah, we have no real response to this. At least Carrion Grub is big enough. But let's see if we are going to have problems with... We might also have problems with like Storm's Wrath plus Shock, which does exist. Can't do anything about that one. Opponent opts. I think our opponent's gonna try to race. Yeah, we lack the way to counter bounce. That's a problem. So 2 triggers. Well, at least we're kind of dropping cards that we don't actually need. We will have 5 mana for the Woe Strider. Feel a possibility. Okay, opponent is racing. I should be concerned if our opponent has the extra mana, but that's... Oh, 8 cards. We're close to half done. So if we can't land this first hit, the second hit... we won't be able to land the second hit. Let's see if our opponent does have the Brazen Borrower. Might be a call for Heroic Intervention if that's the case. Okay, here's the interesting thing. We will go down to 14. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. I can't play the second Carrion Grub. And unfortunately, let's say I'm able to mutate onto this. That's with like 6, 7, 8. Okay, has 1 cycling. So that's 4 cards. So we go down to 14. We'll go down to 10. I think we're still dead. At least we did hit that. We did land that 1 hit. Yeah. Okay, so we go down to 10. Opponent hits 6 mana. Opponent hits in that's 6. Let's see if they have another card draw spell, but I suspect they do. Yeah. Triple Teferi's Tutelage. Oh, and they discard the Storm's Wrath, so they probably have the card draw for it. Yeah, that's a good game. Yeah, we will throw away the Void Beckoners. Let's see. Opponent probably has it. Yeah, Trill Possibility. There you go. Good game. So we were close, just a bit on the slow side, I guess. So here's some adjustments we're gonna do. 1, we're gonna narrow down the Void Beckoners. We're gonna probably cut 2 of them for 1 more Titanot Rex. 2, we're going to add some ways to accelerate the 2 mana. We cut those earlier because it's so squishy and soft. We could supplement it with, say, Wolf Willow Haven. Even if it's creature based, it's probably not bad. So let's see. See what are our options. Also, the Auspicious Starks is not panning out. We're never getting the shot, so let's discard 2 of those for 1 of these. I think 3 Carrion Grubs is okay. Llanowar Visionary is okay. We can't use Humble Naturist. we can use Elysian Caryatid. So I have to decide between Caryatid or Wolf Willow Haven. Basically as ways to ramp mana. I could also do Fertilid, but that's... Cultivate is also plausible. That actually hits better. It does... Probably... Yeah, probably just go 3 copies of the Caryatid. I'd rather have the Naturist, but we can only cast creature spells with that, and there's a lot of non-creatures here, so we're gonna go with this one. We're do the mana that way. Yeah, mana here is quite fine. So this is it. This is pretty much the final build. It does have some resilience. In fact, the fact that we're able to live up against the... Okay, so we might also want to consider, say, -1 Heartless Act, +1 Timurit. That's pretty much the final consideration. As for lands, we could sneak in... Since we need ways to draw cards, we could sneak in 1 Castle Locthwain. Cut 1 Swamp that way. And there we go. We could even cut some of the Jungle Hollows at this point, but we'll leave it at that one. There you go. That's it for this episode, the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. We should be down to Zendikar quite soon, but until then, it's this one and one more video. So that will be it for updating the Precons. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great day, everyone.